What's up, Fire Family? It's Kiahonfire and welcome back to Valheim. Today I'm going to be going over how you defeat these villages pretty early on. So you can do this in troll gear if you're brave enough. And all you pretty much need is a nice bow, you know, a nice meld bow. Some obsidian arrows, or you could even use frost arrows or something with a good amount of strength. You could even use iron arrows. It might just take you a little bit more time. Or you could, you know, all of that kind of stuff. And you'll probably need a shield and a axe or something like that, or a shield and sword. That is also a very good combination. But what I'm using today, of course, is bow, obsidian arrows, shield and axe. But I'm mostly going to be using the bow. And you're probably going to need about 200 obsidian arrows just to be safe, depending on how accurate you are with your shots. Now, there's a trick you could do with these villages where you don't piss everybody inside the village off at you. Because as soon as you piss off more than 2 targets, then this operation is going to be a flop and it's going to be so much harder for you to complete. So pretty much what you want to do is you want to be at a very far away distance when you're shooting at the village where you can see them. But when you shoot near them, they panic and they kind of just run around with their arms flailing around. Their eye derps out and they don't realise that it's you that shot off them. And they're just worried about something that's been shot near them. That's like a perfect distance, so you could do a little test and shoot at them and check the distance out, but the distance in the video I found is pretty much perfect. So you don't want to be too close to them. You want to keep a very good distance between you and them, so that if you do miss any shots or anything, that they don't all come out and run after you, because that would just be a situation where you need to run away and let the AI reset in their places and then come back and shoot them again. But the idea is you want to spot your target and then you want to do aka sneak damage on them. So they haven't seen you, but you've seen them, and you're going to get that bonus damage from doing that first shot on them. Of course, if you can hit them from the back, it is a lot better, because then you're going to get that nice bonus back damage. And you could potentially one-shot them, or with a Draugr bow, if you did that, you could probably one-shot them pretty well as well. But most of the shots will take you about 2 shots, and if not, 1 shot if you do get a bonus damage back. The great thing about this is you'll shoot one of them, and because you're so far away, the one that you shot is the only one that's going to come out towards you. So you only take on one at a time, and if you're good enough with the bow, you can actually just shoot them with 2 arrows and they're done for. Depending on the size of the village will depend on how long it will take you. This one probably took me about 20-30 minutes on this kind of system with the kind of gear I have right now and the kind of arrows I have, because it is a really big village. But there are smaller villages that will take less time, or well, again, depending on how well you shoot as well. Now, the thing you probably need to be most concerned about when it comes to these guys is if you don't end up being able to finish off the goblin before it comes towards you. And if it's a type that has a spear, or a type that has 1 to 2 stars or more. If the one coming at you is 1 to 2 stars or more, and it has a spear, ideally you want to back up and try and bow it. You don't want to engage in melee combat. If it's just a guy with a spear and no stars, then as long as you can parry him, then he's going to be easy enough to do. So yeah, most of all, you want to parry them if they do come after you like this. So as you can see, when I'm defeating some guys here, if they hit me, I'm gonna block their attack just as they hit, and I'm gonna parry them, they get dizzy, and I'm gonna get some bonus damage on them, and it'll be 1 arrow and 1 smack of my axe. So very efficient actually on your weapons as well, on the durability. Yeah, if you do see 1 to 2 stars, ideally, just keep to the bow and try and shoot them to death. You don't really want to engage in the melee combat, especially not in this armor or with that shield type, because they will probably actually just go through the shield and you'll still get damage and you won't be able to parry them. The big guys are pretty easy to take on because there's a lot of surface area that you can shoot at on these guys, which makes it great. But with these big guys, you definitely don't want to get into melee combat with them either. You just want to keep walking backwards and shooting them, and if they get too close, you want to run away a little bit or go around in a circle or whatever. You definitely don't want to get caught up with their attacks because they're very fast and they're quite snappy and you'll definitely die. So as long as you keep your distance with those, it's fine. You're in no rush anyway on this kind of thing. You just want to walk around and shoot. If you have a town with watchtowers as well, you want to beware of that because the goblins will be in the watchtowers and they might shoot you with their spears or whatever. So you do want to keep an eye on those and get rid of them that way. Although that being said, when they're in the watchtowers, it's pretty easy to pick them off because a lot of the time they won't be able to get out the towers. It's more of a concern with the ones in the houses because if you get to clearing out the whole village, but you still have a few hiding in the houses, that's when you want to kind of sneak into the village and then take care of those goblins that are in the houses, or aim your bow at them once you got a better sight on them. One thing you definitely want to be careful about is the kind of shamans you get in there. There's these goblins that have like a magical power where they can throw magic at you, which explodes, and they can also put up a shield, which means you can't shoot or damage them very well with that shield up. So the idea is, if you do see them, they have a little stick and it wobbles around with a skull on the end, so they're quite easy to see where they are. They're pretty slow. Ideally, you want to kill them before they summon, or wait for their summon to go away and then kill them. But I found with the bow maxed out to about level 4 and the obsidian arrows, that when you actually shoot them and surprise them with the sneak damage, that they tend to die in one shot. Again, if they have a star on their name or anything, it might be a little bit more difficult. But the idea is, you either want to leave them to last, or you want to snipe them, or if you do leave them to last, that means you can go ahead and go and melee them in their bubble, because you won't be able to shoot them out of their bubble as soon as they got that bubble up, and you don't really want them firing magic at you, because that's very painful actually. Another thing you want to be careful of as well is be aware of your surroundings, have that volume up as well of the environment so you can hear the goblins laughing, so you can hear where they are and know how many are left. Having them giggle and stuff is quite easy to see if they're still in there or not, and when the giggling stops, you know you killed all of them. That way you can go and harvest the city of all the loot that you've just killed out of them. Like that. And you also want your volume up for another reason, is death skeetos. Now, I didn't get too many coming after me, but sometimes they can spawn in behind you when you're going around the circumference of the city. So I did find that a bit of a pain in the ass in one of the villages I did a little while ago. But you just want to have that volume up so you can hear them coming or hear them in the area. Once you get them all, it should be a really easy source of blackened iron though. You can't actually smelt this in a normal furnace, you need to smelt it in a blast furnace, which means you need the artisan table, which means you need to kill the dragon boss before you go and attempt this, if you want that. So make sure you got that boss taken care of to unlock the proper smelting station. If not, you could just get crops this way as well, because a big reason you want to do this as well, not just for the blackened ingots, is to get the barley and the flax out as well. This is why you want to do this as well, because they will be growing it and it will be in their chests as well. So it is very handy once you clear out the city, then you'll have free reign of looting all their chests. They usually have quite a lot of chests in the city, and you can get some nice needles from the death skeetos. You can get lots of gold coins, you can get lots of that blackened iron, and of course you can get those nice farming agricultural items as well. But it's actually a really easy source of getting that nice blackened iron through this way. It's pretty cost efficient and pretty health efficient as well, because if you took it on normally with just going in there and swinging wildly, they would absolutely overwhelm you, so it would be definitely not a good situation. And if you do clear out this camp, if you need anything like spare wood or deer hide, if you do whack down some of their structures and roofing, you can get some nice materials back. Even their tanning racks, you can get deer hide from that, so that's some nice free items as well. Don't forget to demolish things if you need those kind of items as well still. Anyways, I hope this guide helped you take on villagers a little bit earlier than usual. Thank you for watching, I love you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye!